It is one of the biggest weekends of the year for college football fans today. The ACC, Big Ten, Big 12, SEC, all crowning champs. And Selection Sunday is tomorrow as teams look to officially punch their ticket for the first ever 12-team college football playoff. Exciting. Here's where things stand heading into the weekend. Obviously, things could change depending on who wins and who loses today. Today's action kicked off about 20 minutes ago with the Big 12 title game between Arizona State and Iowa State, followed by a big rematch between Georgia and Texas in the SEC. Tonight, #1 Oregon takes on Penn State for the Big Ten crown as Clemson looks to upset SMU for the ACC title. Joining me now to break it all down is former All-Pro NFL wideout and ESPN college football analyst Joey Galloway. Joey, good to have you. Thanks for taking the time on this day. I know you got a lot to do. High stakes all around, and then you add the playoff on top of all of that. Which games are you looking at for the biggest chance to shake things up before Selection Sunday?
I think the ACC game is the biggest chance we have of shaking things up. Simply because SMU, who has been a really good team all season long, and they're inside the top 10, and Clemson surprised everyone. With Miami losing a couple games at the end, Clemson gets into the ACC championship game, and so the winner of that is automatically in. If that happens to be Clemson, it could knock somebody else out of the playoff, because I do believe SMU will also get in.
All right, so the big storyline really this season has been conference realignment, and now we've got first-timers in Oregon, Texas, SMU, Arizona State, all going for their new conference titles today. Which newcomers do you think have the best chance at it?
I think Oregon, the #1 team in the country, they've already beat Ohio State, who's probably the second best team in the Big Ten, and now they're going against Penn State. And Oregon has been a team that all season long has found a way to win some games, and they've blown out some people. So they have that experience of being in those tough moments that I think are important for a football team. If you're going to make a run into the playoffs, if you're going to win your conference, everything's not going to be easy for you. And Oregon's found a way to stay undefeated no matter what. I also like Arizona State. I like what they've done in the end of their season, getting into the Big 12 championship game, and I think they got a good chance to win it.
All right, so as always, it's not just the teams playing this weekend, keeping a close eye, obviously, on the action. As it stands, Alabama would be the final at-large team in the playoff. What do the Tide need to do or need to happen today if they're going to make it?
I think Alabama is really rooting for SMU to win. If SMU wins, then Alabama is in the playoff. Can't imagine what else would have to happen to keep them out at that stage, because of the Clemson being ranked behind Alabama. They would automatically just be out of it. SMU gets in, and it just keeps everything right in order, as we saw Tuesday night with the rankings. So Alabama right now is sitting there absolutely rooting for SMU to beat Clemson.
And just finally, a look ahead to the playoff. What schools do you think are set to make a deep run?
I like the 5 seed. As we've seen for weeks and weeks, the 5 seed seems to have the best path to get there. And right now, that looks like it's going to be Notre Dame. And this is a Notre Dame that lost to Northern Illinois early in the season. Everyone sort of thought they weren't a good football team, but since then, they've been really good. They run the ball well with Jeremiah Love, and their quarterback runs it well, Riley Leonard. And so they're a physical football team, and when you run the football, you can play in any kind of weather. Doesn't matter where you go. Running the football wins football games. They're a good defensive team. So I like Notre Dame, and obviously Oregon, still undefeated. You got to like their chances.
All right, ESPN college football analyst and former NFL player Joey Galloway. Joey, thanks so much. ABC is the place to be for all of those matchups. You see it there on your screen.